Going back to United, does it mean that little bit more because you had your time there and were deemed, I guess, to have been unsuccessful?
No, it doesn't really, because I feel as if not many people got offered the Manchester United job, and I think to be offered it in the first place tells you exactly what you thought of. I think at the time when I took the job, I was probably as ready for the job as MD was, but maybe other reasons, you know, it was that there was a lot of changes going on in the Premier League. Teams were changing, teams were evolving, and Manchester United were changing and evolving, but they just lost one of the best managers of all time, and it was going to take a little bit of time to get it right. So unfortunately I was the first one, but I wouldn't change it. It was a great job and I was really privileged to be offered the job.
I know you don't want to talk about specifics in terms of the transfer market, but West Ham is an attractive prospect for a lot of players. I just wondered how much room for manoeuvre you have in the market.
Room for manoeuvre, could you explain that a wee bit to me, Damien, exactly what you mean?
Well, just in terms of, have you got money to spend? Are the board backing you to go out there and get players?
Yeah, 100%. The board have been really good. The board have supported me greatly and helped, saying to me, go and get what you need if you can, David. But like anything else, things are expensive in this window at the moment. Also, there's not a great pool. The sort of positions we're looking for, we found quite difficult to identify and maybe get ones which we think can come in and make a difference in this immediately, really. In the last couple of January windows we've been able to do that. This window's felt a wee bit more difficult. But if things go right and we get a good run of things, I'm still hopeful that we'll add a couple of players before the window closes.
I just want to take you back to the game against Manchester United at London Stadium, your memories of that and that decision to bring on David Noble to take that penalty. It was a brave move, wasn't it?
Yeah, that David Noble's not the best at penalty kicks, Emma. But Mark Noble's very good at penalty kicks, Emma.
Sorry. There we go.
I'm glad it was you, Emma, not me. I bet the BBC will cut that out, but if it was me, they would definitely keep it in.
Honestly, I'll be docked wages today. So it just helps that I'm asking you about a decision that you made that ultimately it didn't pay off, sadly, did it?
Not easy, these decisions, Emma, I'm telling you. But anyway, look, no, it didn't, Emma. And I think since then, Mark's taken about 3 penalties. Since then, he scored the 3 of them. He certainly scored at Watford. He scored one for us in a penalty shootout against Man City, and I think he scored one in Europe as well, if I've got that right. I might be wrong with that. Yeah, so look, Mark Noble has got one of the best goal-scoring percentages of any player in Europe. So the decision to make it was a big call. It really was, Emma. I didn't enjoy my own company, I've got to say, for a few days after it, because I thought I made a terrible decision and I beat myself up about it. But when you're a football manager and you have to make decisions, sometimes you get them right, sometimes you get them wrong. This one, on the day, I got wrong, but I still think the real reasons for doing it were the right ones.
And in fairness, the penalty was saved rather than missed, wasn't it?
It was, and if we're being fair, Manchester United goalkeeper's been playing out his skin this season, really, and you know, that on that day made a great penalty save. And actually, prior to it, I don't think David had made too many penalty saves. So, in my own way, I was thinking, oh, good, we've got a draw out of this right at the end here, but it didn't quite work.
You have won at Old Trafford already this season. Admittedly, it was in the League Cup, but that being above them in the table, although they have the game in hand, that must all help psychologically.
I think so. I think going to Old Trafford's never an easy place to go for any team, never has been. So we have to go there with confidence. It's a really big game for us, because I feel that, you know, we've got a chance to go and show our credentials and show that we can be challenging up amongst the top 6-7 teams again this season. And as we always expect Manchester United to be up near the top, so it's a good game. I feel as if it's a chance for us to go and show what we can do.
Here's a stat for you. You have never won as the visiting manager in the league at Old Trafford in 14 attempts. Are you confident that can change this weekend?
After my win there in the League Cup a few weeks ago, I'm really confident, Emma.
aku suka.
I have a feeling that West Ham are in good position to beat Ralph Rangnick and United at Old Trafford this week.
Back 4 ke back 5 ke, not going to make a difference.
Can. Bern, you touched on Jarrod Bowen earlier, and here's a stat for you, okay? It says here, Bowen has been directly involved in 16 goals in all competitions this season, 8 goals and 8 assists, more than any other English player in the Premier League. So I guess the next step for him naturally would be an England call-up, right?
Yeah, that's huge. I think, can you imagine, kan? Jarrod Bowen, they bought him from Hull City. I don't think, that's the thing about David Moyes, right? He always makes buys that are beneficial long term. The likes of Thomas Souček, even Vladimir Soufal. You just look at the players that West Ham have, right? They're not world beaters. But when they come in as a unit, they just look scary to play against. Look at what he's done with Declan Rice. Look at what he's done with even Antonio, who used to play as a right back. Can you imagine Antonio used to play as a right back? I mean, we've discussed this before. But yeah, Jarrod Bowen, superb speed, and that's something people don't know. He's got crazy fitness levels. And that's why, you remember that games, the 3 games that West Ham had, the last one that they lost to Leeds, right? They had 3 matches in 7 days. And in that 7 days, these guys were literally the same 11 that played on every single game, because you got to understand that Said bin Rama is at AFCON. They're also missing a lot of players. They don't have Bona, like I mentioned. Aaron Cresswell just came back from injury. Vladimir Soufal, I think, is pretty much the confirmed right back now, not Ben Johnson anymore. But they've got options, right, on the bench. At the same time, they've got injuries as well to contend with. And David Moyes pretty much puts out the same 11 most of the time. So the fact that the same crop of players like Chelsea, we're talking about faktor kepenatan, tapi West Ham, penat-penat pun, dia lawan dengan Leeds baru nampak, the last game. That's why they lost the game at the London Stadium. But Jarrod Bowen's fitness levels are next level. His speed is next level. His positioning is superb. His link-up play with Antonio, with Lanzini, it's just mesmerizing. So I just feel that it's going to be a problem to mark him. Man United players have not been convincing. Let's be honest. Rafael Varane has been more of a liability compared to Lindelof. I think Lindelof played better than him a bit in the game against Aston Villa. They're still open, so I don't think the back three is going to make any difference. Yeah, they'll have more defenders playing down there. I mean, that's what sort of McTominay does. Like, he plays almost like a sweeper when he's in the team, right? So I think West Ham United with Jarrod Bowen are going to make it very, very difficult for Man United. Don't be surprised if West Ham actually win. Or it's a high-scoring game, like maybe 2-2 ke 3-3 ke.